Today on eNCA, GSTV Channel 43 with me, Dan Moyane. Good afternoon. Welcome to the final hour of our Monday edition. Now, one former G4S employee accused of helping Thabo Bester escape from prison has been granted bail. Her four co-accused were denied bail and will have to remain behind bars until their next court appearance in June. Last week, their legal team said that they were not a flight risk and should be granted bail, but the state opposed that. Senior reporter Silindelo Masikane was in court for us. She's joining us now for a wrap of what happened in court. Mixed reactions we've seen, Silindelo Masikane, to the bail being granted to one and not to the other four. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brian. Absolutely. Mixed emotions here at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. Earlier, before the bail judgment, we had quite emotional scenes outside of court with Katlego Bereng's mom, who was on her hands and knees, praying, asking for the ancestors and her son's spirit. Of course, we know Katlego Bereng is the one whose body was planted in Bester's cell. She was praying and asking that they don't allow that the accused be granted bail. And of course, we heard from the magistrate who went into a lot of detail, of course, as to the reasons why he denied the four, but granted Anastasia Janssen that bail judgment of 10,000 Rand, of course, with quite strict bail conditions as well. And of course, a lot of reaction then following that particular judgment from the families of those who were, of course, granted bail. And those who were denied. We had an opportunity to try and speak to some of them just after court. We do understand that the girlfriend of Sinuhe Matswara, she at this point, we understand, is in hospital following that ruling. And that is because, of course, her boyfriend Sinuhe Matswara, accused number one, has been denied bail. But let's just take a listen to some of the family members who were here in court, who were listening to that judgment and gave us their reaction afterwards.
We must stay at home because she's the only breadwinner for us at home. We are very happy.
How are the children right now, Mama?
They're at school, but they're fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will be very, very pleased when they see the mother.
Yeah. And I'm sure you're going to wait for her to come out, and you're just hoping you'll be able to go home all together.
Going home with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, Silindelo is disappointing. It's quite disappointing. We are disappointed as a family. When you take into account that other accused, which is accused number two, he was granted bail. We don't know what is going to happen going forward, but we are disappointed as a family.
Perhaps as a family, when you heard about this alleged involvement of Diego in this escape, do you believe he's guilty at all? No,
we don't believe he's guilty. He was there at the wrong time. He was caught up into this at the wrong. He was at the wrong time, at the wrong place, at the wrong time. Yes, he's caught up in this.
So maybe then talk to me about whether you can appeal. Do you think you can be able to appeal this ruling, or are you going to wait for the trial to begin?
No, we are going to wait for the trial to begin.
Yeah.
Silindelo, how did the NPA then, for its part, take this ruling by the magistrate?
The NPA seems quite satisfied, saying that they respect the ruling of the court, saying that the four who were denied bail were doing an application in terms of Schedule 5, meaning that they had to show the court, the onus was on them to show the court that the interests of justice permit their release, saying that they also respect the judgment in terms of Janssen, who of course was making an application in terms of Schedule 1, meaning the state then had to show the court why she should remain behind bars. Let's take a listen.
We are satisfied, as we are aware, that applicant number one up until number four, they were making bail in terms of Schedule 5, and we, from the onset, we are saying that it would not be in the best interest of justice for any of the accused to be released on bail, and we got exactly what we are asking for. But in respect of applicant number 5, we respect the decision of the court, and our hope is that she is going to abide by all the conditions attached to her release on bail.
Silindelo, I understand there was a lady you tried to doorstep, and I don't know why she didn't want to talk to you. Can you tell us about that?
That is Sinuhe Matswara's girlfriend, accused number one. Of course, you would remember that the state has deemed him as one of the masterminds of the escape of Bester from the Mangaung Correctional Center. And his girlfriend has for some time actually been attending proceedings. She has been quite camera shy. We did try to speak to her after proceedings to get a sense as to how she's feeling. And it does seem as though she's been quite badly affected by the news that Matswara will not be released on bail at this stage. And we've been told by those who are close to her that she is possibly going to spend the evening in hospital because she began suffering from short breath following the judgment by the Magistrates Court to deny Matswara bail. Let's just take a look.
Portia, how are you feeling? How are you feeling, sis? Are you disappointed?
It's a very tough moment there indeed. As we wrap, Silindelo, just remind our viewers, when is the next appearance in court in this Thabo Bester escape matter? I mean, we know there's been a separate matter of Dr. Nandipha Magudumana in terms of challenging the nature of her arrest in Tanzania, but I'm just talking about the bigger case. When are these 5 co-accused together back in court with Thabo Bester and Nandipha?
Well, we understand, of course, that all 8 accused, if any more arrests are not made between now and June, that all 8 will be back here in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court on the 20th of June. The matter was postponed for further investigations. We've already heard from the Free State Police saying that more arrests are imminent. And, of course, like you said, there are separate court proceedings taking place outside of the Magistrates Court, one in particular being that of Dr. Nandipha, who is fighting her arrest and legal proceedings in the Free State High Court. We are expecting hearings for that application to be heard on Thursday, where she wants the court to set it aside, deem her arrest unlawful, set it aside, as well as the legal proceedings that she's facing here in the Magistrates Court.
Okay, thank you very much. Silindelo Masikane outside the Magistrate Court in Bloemfontein, wrapping up yet another day in court in this case of the Thabo Bester escape from Mangaung Correctional Facility in May last year.